Hey guys, it's FifaRalle here and welcome to another highlights video from the past week of streaming, and at the same time a bit of a Q&A, and we got a bit of a silly fun team a little bit further into the video, which I'll show off and explain a little bit. But first off, let's get into the Q&A. The first question is from Forza Belgium, and he asks quite a few questions. The first one is, who are your favorite and dark horses for the World Cup 2014? How do you rate Belgium? And the third question is, which country would you like to visit? So starting off with my favorites for the World Cup, it's a bit of a tricky one, but I do think I'd say first off, Brazil is one of the teams I see going quite far. Being on home soil, they'll definitely have something to prove, and I think they can go really far with the crowd backing them up. Then I think Germany will go really far. They got an extremely good squad and they always get a really far in tournaments. They got a lot of experience for that, and I think they will get quite far in the tournament as well. And Spain, being the reigning champions, I think they got something to say as well. But then again, there's a lot of good teams at the World Cup, and I think it's all about who kind of hits the form in June and July, who will make it the furthest into the later stages. But those three teams I just mentioned are on the top of my head and probably my favorites this year. Then about rating Belgium, I would say they got a really good generation, some really good and talented players, both attackers, midfielders and defenders. And kind of looking at the World Cup, I think they'll definitely get out of the group, probably on top if they can beat Russia. And then I think they will get a really difficult time into the later stages, because if they happen to be number one in the group, they will either face Portugal or Germany from Group G, and that is going to be two really strong opponents. And then if they happen to go through there, they'll probably either face Argentina or France. So even though Belgium got a really good generation, I think they'll have a difficult time, maybe not having that much experience from previous tournaments. And I rate them as a good team, but I do not think they'll make it too far in the tournament. But maybe I'll be pleasant surprised and they will hit the form and play really well. But the final question from Forza Belgium was, which country would you like to visit? And there's a lot of places I would like to visit in the world, but this year it will probably be Brazil during the World Cup. One, to see the country. That was something I would love to do. Never been there, so it'll definitely be an awesome experience. And then, of course, to experience the entire World Cup atmosphere, that is something I would like to try out as well. So yeah, this year, if I were to go somewhere, it would definitely be Brazil. Now, moving on to a new question from a different guy, and that is from Matthias Jensen, and he asks, how long time will you be doing YouTube of your life? And it's a bit of a tricky question to say how long I will be doing YouTube for the rest of my life, because you never really know how long YouTube is going to continue, or if anything new is going to come up, or what is going to happen in the future. But I'd say if I could live off doing YouTube videos, I would definitely like to do that. But at the same time, as I said, it's difficult to know what will happen in the future, and that's why I'm getting myself an education and going to university, so I have at least some foundation to something to fall back on if I cannot live off YouTube in the future. So I guess that kind of answers that question in some way. The next question is from Ontario, and he asks, which one would I choose? Lose all previous memories or never be able to make new ones? And I'd say losing all your previous memories is in some way a terrible thing if that were to happen, like lose all your memories from your childhood and growing up. But at the same time, looking forward, not being able to remember anything you do, anything you'll experience, and all those memories, not being able to kind of remember those, that would be a terrible thing as well. And if I were to choose one of them, it'll probably be lose all my previous memories. So at least looking forward, I'll be able to remember everything I've experienced and do. Next question is from Mika Haimaka, and I had a question from him before, and I think I probably butchered the pronunciation of that name, so I apologize for that. But he asks, do you like FIFA 14 skilling wise? And I'd have to say, I do enjoy doing skill moves on the game. It's definitely fun to do, but compared to previous years, it is probably not as good. I think game mechanics and stuff like that, it's alright to do skill moves with, but just the fact that you no longer have to hold LT or L2, depending on your console, kind of makes for some interferences every now and again, which I do not like that much, because sometimes when you flick the right stick, you either take a long touch if you did a skill move too quick and you end up messing it up, or if the ball is in the air, you'll instead do a flick in the air. Whereas if you had to hold LT and L2 and have that for for triggering a skill move, you would never really fail that same way. So I did like it better last year, for example, doing skill moves, at least for the way the controls work. So I guess that will be my way to answer that question. Then we got a question from Rise Dobson, and he asked, how did you get your name? And that is relatively simple, at least YouTube wise, because FIFA is the name of the franchise, and Ralle is basically a very common nickname for Rasmus in Denmark, and combining those two together, you get a FifaRalle, and I guess that pretty much answers that question. A very simple question to answer in some way. Before we jump on to the next question, I will just quickly answer or explain a little bit what you're seeing on the screen. This was kind of the fun squad we built towards of Saturday's stream, and this time around we went with Luiz as a striker. I wanted to try him out there, and I wanted to try Marcelo as a left wing because he scored a bunch of silly good goals for me when I was playing, and I wanted to try him out as a bit more of an attacking player. And then we got a bunch more Afro players in the game into the squad, and again, it's a bit of a non-serious squad, just playing for fun, and we did actually match up against a quite strong squad, and it was a quite interesting game. Let's just put it like that, and you'll see it here in the next few minutes. But let's jump into the next question, which is from Kevin, and he asks, how were your grades in school? And I think that might refer to this past semester I had, and it turned out pretty well. I had 5 different exams. 2 of them were pass-fail, and I passed those. Then I had 1 exam which I was really nervous about, and I thought I would probably get away with just the lowest grade of passing, but I ended up getting a C, which was alright with me. And then 2 other exams where I got top grades, both of them I got to A. So I think overall it was I was quite happy about my grades I managed to get from the past semester. Next question is from Lamar Fetty, and he asks, can you do a tutorial on the chest flick and volley? And I do not really think it needs a tutorial because it is relatively simple. You just cross it in, and if your player got enough space, just hold R2 on the PlayStation, RT on the Xbox, and your player will chest it up in the air. And once he's done that, you just, as usual, when you want to do a bicycle kick, shoot and hold LT or L2 depending on your console, and you will pull that off. So maybe practice in the arena first off, and then after that try and move on to the game and see if you can pull it off. And then we're kind of getting to the end of this video slowly, so I think this might be the final question I answer, and that is from Andre Ovi, not quite sure how that is pronounced, but he asked, if you was to be a billionaire, what things would you buy? Name 5 to 10 things, and I think naming that many things is probably a little bit difficult because on top of my head, there's probably a lot of things I would like to own and stuff like that. But if I were to be a billionaire, the first thing I would do would be to travel the world. Maybe for a year, just experience different cultures and see the world. That is something I would love to do. I love traveling, and if I had an unlimited amount of coins, that is definitely something I would do. And apart from that, I don't really know, like there's a lot, as I said, there's a lot of things I would like to buy if I had an unlimited amount of coins, but it could be anything from a house to a football pitch to a nice car, stuff like that. But overall, I do not think I really can put them in an order after that. It is like I haven't really given any thought into it. So as we're coming to an end of this video, I'm going to end off this Q&A and this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. We'll be back again tomorrow with another video, and that's all. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later.